If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looks so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
Fast One Speed Shop is your destination for the parts you desire. If you've ever craved dealer-type pricing on most major brands without hefty buy-ins, now's your opportunity. Whether you're into circle track, drag, street, repair shops, hot rods, or more, we've got you covered for just $99.99 a month. The Fast One Parts VIP Club is unmatched, so start saving hundreds or thousands by joining the VIP Club today. Visit us online at fast1speedshop.com or fast1parts.com. Now showing the World of Outlaws Real American Beer Late Model Series, presented by DIRTVision. Featuring the best drivers, biggest races.
Fantastic start! The Reaper strikes! He wins the 2025 season opener!
And best coverage of dirt late model racing.
My name is Ashton Smythe. I'll be covering all of the action.
Powerful late models on the planet!
DIRTVision is home to the greatest shows on dirt.
For the first time since 2011, the World of Outlaws roll through right here at Needmore Speedway. Welcome into the World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Models presented by DIRTVision. My name is Ashton Smythe, and I got you covered with everything happening on the grounds here today. Joined up in the booth in just a little bit by the voice of the World of Outlaw Late Models, Ruben Morales. And whether you're joining us here in Georgia or watching at home on DIRTVision, thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us. What a beautiful Friday evening it is at that. A little before 7 o'clock right now, sun still out and shining, about 80 degrees with a little bit of wind blowing through the area, about 8 miles an hour, but even better, no clouds in the sky, which means no chance of rain, and we are looking forward to an amazing night of racing. It's been a few weeks off for the Outlaws, but the last time we were in action was just a few weeks ago, where we stopped at Arrowhead Speedway in Oklahoma for 2 nights, and man, what a barn burner that it was. Bobby Pierce picked up the win, but once again, an absolutely incredible race. But if you weren't able to join us, here are those highlights.
The distance here tonight. The finale of the Arrowhead Sooner State Showdown coming to green here, Oklahoma.
And it turns 1 and 2. Bobby Pierce going to roll the bottom of the speedway. Here comes T-Mac with the head of steam on the outside. Pierce not going to be too worried about giving up the lead early in this one, as Tim McCready will lead lap number 1 with the head of steam on the outside of turn number 4. Second to Pierce, third to Shirley, fourth to Hoffman. For the third spot, it's Shirley and Hoffman side by side. Troutman and Herb side by side as well. McCready, big head of steam around the outside of Pierce. Pierce got a lot of bind around the bottom and 1 and 2 on entry. As Sorensen off the pace on the front straightaway. Lap number 3 in the books. No, sir. Caution comes out.
Can't hold on to second as the 32 of Pierce gets around him on the outside and off of turn number 4. It's still Tim McCready, but here comes Pierce.
Big crossover move by Bobby Pierce. Going to throw a slider in 1 and 2. Drift up the racetrack. New leader on lap number 4, at least for the time being. It's the smooth operator Bobby Pierce. Pierce back to the top shelf in 3 and 4. McCready through the middle, and Bobby Pierce leads. Ethan Dodson holding over dear lap. Oh no, McCready. We talked about the tire wear. Maybe a right rear tire down for the Watertown, New York driver. Cars leaned on over, and I believe that is the case. Yes, sir. Right rear tire down for McCready. Bobby Pierce got a great restart there. Shirley now going to go down to the bottom of 1 and 2. Hoffman going to slide up the racetrack. Here comes Drake Troutman to the top 5. Troutman looking for a podium spot. Has a great run down the back straightaway. Hoffman slider inbound on Shirley. Let's see if he pulls the trigger. Shirley bounces it off the wall. He'll fall back to 3rd, maybe 4th or 5th, because there comes a hungry pack behind him.
Yeah, Tyler Herb looking there to the inside, looking for a second Outlaw win of the year. Down the back straightaway, Hoffman has second, Shirley third, Turbo to 4th. And here comes Kane Diller trying to get into the top 5. He looks to the inside of Troutman.
If you take Bobby Pierce out of this race, you have a well of a race behind him. Hoffman up to 2nd, now Turbo. Tyler Herb up to 3rd for the time being. Shirley going to try to squeeze between the wall and the 1 as Bobby Pierce nearly takes some banners down. We come 5 laps to go in the Sooner State Showdown.
The Barrett's Performance, 1 lap to go. The smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, on the horizon of a $20,000 payday. Down the back straightaway, he'll point it straight. It's a 2-second lead over Hoffman. Turbo third, a historic one. For his 42nd win, he'll tie Moyer for 5th on the all-time wins list. He wins here at the Sooner State.
Bobby Pierce picked up his 11th win of the 2025 season, but he's not done quite yet. Also chasing a championship, and there's only 6 more races, including tonight, before we head to the World Finals at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 3 more races there. So the back half of the season here is crucial, and there is tons of tight point battles. So let's go through the top 10 as they stand in the overall point standings right now. Like I said, Bobby Pierce currently leads that points championship, a little over 100 points ahead of 2nd place of Nick Hoffman. 3rd place is Ryan Gustin, and in 4th place sits Tim McCready. Keep your eye on this battle for 5th between your MD3 Rookie of the Year contender right now. Points leader Drake Troutman, only 2 points separate him and 6th place of Dennis Herb. That's only 1 position on the racetrack. Brian Shirley sits in 7th in another tight battle between 8th and 9th. Cody Overton and Tanner English only separated by 12 points, rolling into the home state of Cody Overton here in Georgia. And rounding out the top 10, Ethan Dotson rounds out the top 10 in the overall points championship. Only a few more races left, and we'll see what these guys can do as they all chase that championship at the end of the year. And like I said, Bobby Pierce currently leading that points championship, but he's been in a little bit of a slump as of recently. Not the performance he exactly wanted just last weekend at Eldora Speedway, and even right before that, or excuse me, just last night at Volunteer Speedway, not exactly the performance that he wanted. But he's hoping to kind of get that monkey off his back here back in the South, where in 2025, he's had amazing stats. But if you talk to Bobby Pierce in 2024, even years before that, he was not a huge fan of the South. But let's look at his stats in 2025 so far here in the South, starting at Smoky Mountain earlier on this year. Qualified pretty well in his group and then translated that into a feature win that night. Swainsboro Night 1 qualified fastest overall in his group, then turned that into a win. Swainsboro Night 2 third fastest in his group in qualifying, then a 3rd place run in the feature. Then moving into Talladega, qualified first fastest in his group, turned that into a feature event win as well. His 2025 average finish in the South with the Outlaws being a 1.5 finish, but looking back at 2024, that average finish, only a 6th place run. So a complete turnaround for Bobby Pierce in the South as of recently in 2025. Well, back on this red clay, seems like he's figured some things out. But we caught up with him earlier on today about what that switch has been like and how he's feeling moving forward into the rest of the 2025 season.
We're pretty good everywhere. Just it is a challenge going to new tracks. Obviously, we've been good at doing that this year, but you know, you got to qualify good, so it always starts there. We'll see what we got, but no, just we've had rough couple last finishes, so we've been good. We just not good enough to win. So, but we'll see what we got tonight. Knowing we have 4 wins in a row with the Outlaws, I definitely want to keep that streak going. So it's a challenge as always, and when you don't have the finishes you want, we always try hard, but you kind of look at every little detail under a microscope, and you just try to figure out, okay, what do we got to do to get first? So we're going to give it our best tonight. Every night's a new night. That's a good thing about racing. So I'm looking forward to going to Kansas and then Charlotte, of course. I won a race there last year. Hopefully we can just keep the consistency going, get some more wins. Right now I'm on 29 wins of the year total, so really wanting to get to at least 32 wins. So we'll see what we got, but this is an exciting weekend going to a new track. I always like going to new tracks, and Sonoya, I was there at the Flow races last year, only time I've been there. I got second one of them nights, but we need to be a little better. But lots of opportunity to just learn some stuff and try to make the car better and try to pick up some more wins.
Bobby Pierce has won the last 4 in a row with the World of Outlaws, and back with the Outlaws here tonight, hoping to continue to extend not only that lead for their overall wins, but as well as his points championship at the end of the year. But another driver who's hungry to end up back in victory lane is the Ty Touring number 9 of Nick Hoffman, coming off of such a good run at Eldora Speedway on one of the biggest stages in dirt late model racing just last weekend at the World 100. A podium finish for Nick Hoffman, a 3rd place run, and also the highest finishing outlaw that we had on property at Eldora Speedway, continuing to carry that momentum here into the South. But he told us earlier on, although he resides here in the South in North Carolina, this red clay is not his thing. But consistency has been the name of the game for Nick Hoffman so far in the 2025 season, finishing within the top 10, 29 out of 34 starts with the World of Outlaws so far in the 2025 season. We caught up with him earlier on about how Eldora went for him, how he's going to continue that momentum into tonight, and how he views the rest of the racetracks moving into 2025.
Felt like we had a car to win the race, and then Saturday night comes around at 100 lapper. You kind of set up a little bit different with full fuel load and different variables. Obviously, we were on hard tires all week, but just 100 laps is a long race, so you got to kind of cruise that first, say, 20 to 30, and then kind of turn it up. But run 3rd, which is great. There's 97 other guys that probably would have loved to run 3rd, but yeah, I wasn't happy with that, knowing with how good my car was. And whenever I do go back to Eldora, I got the same piece, and we don't have to start all over again. I don't know what to expect here because I suck on red clay. I live in North Carolina, which is full of red clay. I don't race down there at all. I'm typically not good on these type of surfaces. Tomorrow at Sonoya, we have no rain, so typically Sonoya gets really slick if there's no rain. So hoping for that. Boot Hill, last year we got some laps there. Place is different, it's odd. So there's a couple racetracks even too that I've never been to, like Humboldt coming up. So a couple places that I'm excited to get back to. Charlotte, I'm for sure excited to get back to. Even though it's red clay, it's a big half mile. I typically run well there, so I'm excited to get right back in my backyard. Be able to sleep in my own bed at night makes a big difference. And yeah, it's just a couple pretty good racetracks coming up. Don't know what to expect tonight. I haven't been to Sonoya when it's slick. I've watched enough races there to kind of know what to expect, but I'm looking forward to it.
Nick Hoffman hoping to end up in victory lane at the end of the night here tonight at Needmore Speedway, and we'll see what happens. A great night ahead of us. Before we kick off racing action, let's take a quick second to look at the order of events. Not only are the late models on property, we're also joined by the Crown Vics and the Super Streets, but the late models will kick off action tonight with their hot laps, followed by the Super Street hot laps. Then the late models back out on track for their 2-lap qualifying session before the Crown Vics take for their hot lap session. We'll then take a quick break from on-track action for opening ceremonies before we move into World of Outlaw Real American Beer late model heats. 8 laps apiece, 3 of them will happen. Top 2 into the redraw later on tonight. Then the Super Streets will have their heats before that redraw will take place on the front stretch, where we will determine the front 3 rows before we move into Land of Pressure Washer Last Chance Showdowns. 10 laps on the docket tonight. Then the Crown Vic's heats will happen before it is feature racing action time. And kicking off the night, the World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Model feature, 40 laps the distance around here at Needmore Speedway. Closing out the night, the Crown Vic feature, and then the Super Street feature. Like I said, my name is Ashton Smythe. I got you covered with everything happening on the grounds here today. But Ruben, great view up there. I'm super excited to be here. A very unique shaped racetrack. Most of our guys have never been here before. It's going to be a great night of racing.
Yeah, how about the top 5 in 2011 with the World of Outlaws? Clint Smith was your winner. I'm going to pull it back up here because I don't want to mess this up. I just love going to the history books. Chubb Frank was second. Yeah, Josh Richards, Rick Eckert, and Tim McCready. Last time the Outlaws here were in 2011. What a top 5 that was. Tim McCready, the only full-time Outlaw that has been here before, obviously, with the Outlaws. Hunt the Front raced here back in January. A couple of our drivers raced that, like Ethan Dotson, who finished second, Dennis Erb Jr. with a great top 10, and of course a couple other guys here as well. Good to be at Needmore. First time since 2011. Good evening, everyone. As Ashton mentioned, my name's Ruben Morales. To my right, the voice of Needmore Speedway, Jeffrey Godby. Jeffrey, the Outlaws back since 2011. It's going to be a great night of action, my friend.
A lot of cars in the pit area. I just got word over 30 Crown Vics and a good field of Super Streets. So really looking forward to getting the show underway here before long. Like you said, first time since 2011 that the World of Outlaws has been here. So we want to thank everybody for coming out, spending their Friday night here with us. There's a lot of people here. And on behalf of Chance Smith and everybody here, we just really appreciate everybody here live and in person and tuning in on DIRTVision.
And I got to say, Chance reached out to me midweek, sent me a message saying, hey, I'm the promoter, owner. If you need anything, please reach out to me. Let me know. It's just that Southern hospitality that I always like to promote on DIRTVision. If you've never been down to the South, get on down here. If you're around this area, come check it out. Needmore Speedway here in Norman Park, Georgia. It could be a historic one tonight. Bobby Pierce, if he wins, Billy Moyer may have not been tied with the most globes last week at Eldora, but if Bobby Pierce wins tonight, he will pass Billy Moyer for 5th on the all-time wins list here with the Outlaws. Hot lap session number 1, rolling onto the Speedway. First driver out there, right down the road from Middleburg, Florida. In the 5, it's the Magic Man, Mark Whitener, 28 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 3rd twice at Sanoa and Lernerville. Got his first heat race victory at Arrowhead and a good top 10 and top 5 over the weekend out of Richmond, Indiana. The 2023 World 100 Rookie of the Year, Tricky Tristan Chamberlain. MT3 Rookie of the Year contender out of Bakersfield, California. And the Harinda American Wagyu Beef 74X, that's going to be Ethan Dodson, second here with the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series back in January. 50 World of Outlaw starts, got that win at Farmer City Raceway back in April. Also on the Speedway, joining us here tonight, in the number 79, Kyle Bryant. Good to see Kyle Bryant here, of course, trying to make his first Outlaw start, and he will, out of Navarre, Florida. Kyle Bryant, former asphalt late model racer, in 11 years in the asphalt, now in his 2nd year of super late model racing on the dirt. The 2022 World of Outlaws champion at Carpentersville, Illinois, Dennis Erb Jr., 14 World of Outlaw victories in his 385 World of Outlaw starts. Still looking for that first win of the season with multiple top 10s and podiums. They've only finished once outside of the top 10 in that brand new XR2 since debuting it at Highland Speedway. Other drivers rolling onto the Speedway, the 17 SS at Dade City, Florida, Brendan Smith, the 19-year-old in his 3rd year of super late model competition. 2 World of Outlaw starts for Brendan Smith. Best finish 14th at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 in Pevely, Missouri earlier this year. Brendan Smith tackled the whole Dirt Car Summer Nationals this year. As the drivers roll around the Speedway, track record here at Needmore, 14.205 by that driver right there, Mark Whitener. The driver with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap gets an extra $100. Go visit Dirt King Simulators down there, and there's the Ethan Dotson souvenir trailer, ASD Motorsports down there. Head on down there and grab your official merchandise. Ethan Dotson and ASD Motorsports. There you see Ethan Dotson, currently 2nd in the World of Outlaws MD3 Rookie of the Year point standings. It is good to be back with the World of Outlaws. Only 4 weekends to go. We got Kansas coming up. Of course, Sanoa tomorrow. There's the Dirt King Simulator. Head on down there and take a couple laps. Got this weekend, they got 81 in Humboldt, got Boot Hill, and the World of Outlaws World Finals at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. to crown a champion here in 2025 as drivers get ready to tickle the throttle here at Hot Lap session number 1. Another driver rolling onto the speedway, the 17 SR, Brody Smith, also from Dade City, Florida. The 17-year-old in his first year of super late model competition in the 17 SR. Those are all the drivers on the speedway. Gorsuch Performance, green flag flying in Hot Lap session number 1. Hot Lap session number 1 underway here at Needmore. Track record holder Mark Whitener going to kick us off 15.8 flat for the 5. Ashton mentioned a very unique shaped racetrack. Little an aerial view on Google Maps. Check it out. It's really, really unique. Ethan Dodson, quickest with the Dirt King simulators, fastest hot lap at a 15.528. Got second here in the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series race back in January. Ethan Dodson going to be a driver to watch in the 74X here tonight. That race contested January 28th. Hudson O'Neill won it in the Rumley 6 car. Mark Whitener was 3rd, so Dodson and Whitener are going to be 2 drivers to watch here this weekend. Kyle Bronson was 4th, Drake Troutman was 5th. There's the World of Outlaws souvenir trailer. Grab your official merchandise of the World of Outlaws, and if you're not here and you're watching at home on DIRTVision, don't wait in line when you can buy your merchandise online at store.worldofoutlaws.com or the greatest store on dirt. There's Joe and Darren down there. They have brand new merch and event merchandise available here this weekend. Head on down there. They got something for everyone down there at the World of Outlaws souvenir trailer. Before we pack it up and head up to Sanoa, Hot Lap session number 2. Rolling onto the speedway, you'll find the Ty Touring number 9 and Nick Hoffman of Mooresville, North Carolina, currently 2nd in the World of Outlaws point standings. Looking for his 5th win of the season to tie his season best, which was a year ago. 5 wins last year. Hoffman looking for his 5th. Here tonight, no true official Southern wins other than Volusia a couple years ago in the 9. Right behind him, the 76, Brandon Overton of Evans, Georgia. The Riggs Motorsports Longhorn Dude Wipes Factory team joins us here this weekend. Brandon Overton only 3 hours from home. Good to see Brandon Overton here. 20 World of Outlaw wins. His last win, the Alabama Gang 100 last year. Right behind him, last year's MD3 Rookie of the Year champion out of Rochester, Minnesota, the number 19, Dustin Sorensen. 75 World of Outlaw starts for Sorensen. Best finish 2nd at Brownstown last year. In his sophomore, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender to Winona, Minnesota, and the Gorilla Mill Herco Company's 49, Jake Tim, 52 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 5th at Norman County this year. And other drivers on the speedway to Sylvester, Georgia, the 111 of Stephen Roberts. 11 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 6th at Dirt Track at Sherwood Motor Speedway back in 2020. And final driver out there to Fort Valley, Georgia, the 3018 Matthew Taylor. Matthew Taylor trying to make his first World of Outlaw start, came from Craig Lake Model Racing, his first year of super late model racing on and off. 16-year-old 3rd generation driver out of Fort Valley, Georgia. Gorsuch Performance, green flag is out. Everyone will make the show tonight, 25 entries. $1,000 to start here on a Friday night in Needmore. Checkered flag is out. Nick Hoffman goes to the top of the charts now with the Dirt King simulators. Fastest hot lap at a 14.969 for Nick Hoffman. An impressive World 100 run for the Ty Touring number 9 on the podium at the World 100. Of course, currently 2nd in the World of Outlaws point standings. And Nick Hoffman really making a name for himself in the dirt late model world. There you see Race Ranch down there. And of course, World of Outpaws. Love all our furry four-legged friends down there as well. Head on down there and visit Race Ranch and grab your official merchandise. Of course, Nick Hoffman to the top of the charts here, 14.969. Qualifying going to be very important tonight because we have no Group A or B here tonight. So therefore, it's a straight-up qualifying. Nick Hoffman is going to be 8th out of 25 out of the chute. Hot lap session number 3, rolling onto the speedway and led out by the driver out of Watertown, New York. That is going to be T-Mac Tim McCready, currently 4th in the World of Outlaws point standings. 487 World of Outlaws starts, 9th on the all-time wins list with 37 career victories for the 2006 champion. Out of Marshalltown, Iowa, the 19R The Reaper, Ryan Gustin, 14-time World of Outlaws feature winner in his 202 World of Outlaws starts. Out of Chatham, Illinois, right behind him, that's going to be Brian Shirley. Of course, Gustin 3rd in the point standings, Shirley currently 7th. The Prairie Dirt Classic champion and the Bob Cullen Racing number 3S, 13-time World of Outlaws feature winner in his 293 World of Outlaws starts. Out of Benton, Kentucky, feature winner this year at the Highland Speedway in the 96, Tanner English, 4 World of Outlaw victories in his 131 World of Outlaw starts. The current World of Outlaws point leader out of Oakwood, Illinois, the smooth operator Bobby Pierce, currently tied with Billy Moyer for 5th on the all-time wins list at 42 career victories in his 198th. Tonight will be his 199th start. Tomorrow will be his 200th World of Outlaws start. Right behind him, out of Salem, Alabama, the 44D, Dalton Cook. Dalton Cook, 2 World of Outlaws starts, best finish 8th at Swainsboro earlier this year. Those are the drivers. We get ready for hot lap session number 3. Underway here in this hot lap session. Tim McCready going to go 4th quick. Ryan Gustin going to go 7th. Brian Shirley 4th. Tanner English 5th. Bobby Pierce going to go 6th quick at a 15.318. Pierce switching back to the original car they started the year with. They've been running the newer car as of late. Bobby Pierce had both cars unloaded there today. Him and the whole crew wrenching on both cars. They decided to go to the Old Faithful, and Bobby Pierce now goes to the top of the charts with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap in the 32 at a 14.946. Now, people may say that Bobby Pierce can't win in the South, but let's back up on that. In 2025, Ashton mentioned it, his average finish in the South is 1.5. A year ago, it was 6. He has 3 wins in the South with the Outlaws already this year. He won right down the road at Swainsboro. He won at Talladega Short Track and at the Smoky Mountain Speedway back in March. Bobby Pierce loves going to new racetracks. Can Pierce make it a historic one tonight? Of course, he's won the last 4 with the Outlaws, trying to go 5 in a row. He did 6 in a row last year. Pierce trying to keep the streak alive. Final hot lap session, rolling onto the speedway. Going to be led out by this driver. What a story. First year behind the wheel of a super late model, 18-year-old, 4th generation driver, Hunter Cone, a 4-time Millbridge Speedway Outlaw Karts champion. And then in 2024, went to the Mid-East 604 Series, got the Rookie of the Year there. And now in a super late model, we saw him at the Prairie Dirt Classic. Hunter will make his first World of Outlaws start here tonight in the 48. Millbridge Speedway live every single night on DIRTVision. Cody Overton of the Thompson, Georgia, and the Steiny Motorsports number 2. He'll make his 70th World of Outlaws start here tonight. Of course, home not too far from here for Cody Overton in the 2. Looking for that first career World of Outlaws victory. Best finish 3rd at Volusia earlier this year. Out of Milton, Florida, it's the Flying Floridian, Joseph Joyner, in the Hunt the Front Kubota Genuine Parts number 10. Joseph Joyner, 5 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 14th at Sanoa back in 2021. It's been nearly 2 years since we've seen him in Outlaw competition. Good to see Joseph Joyner here tonight. In the 40B, Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida, 3-time World of Outlaws feature winner, and MD3 Rookie of the Year point leader. Out of Hyman, Pennsylvania, the 22-star Drake Troutman. Going to make his 49th start tonight. He'll make his 50th tomorrow. And Brent Larson in the B1 at Lake Elmo, Minnesota, the final driver out there. Brent Larson will make his 323rd World of Outlaw feature start, looking for that first career win in the B1. Of course, its performance green flag is out. Kyle Bronson going to go 8th quick in the 40B. Drake Troutman going to go 12th. Larson going to go 11th. Hunter Cone 15th. Cody Overton going to go 4th quick in the Steiny Motorsports number 2. Joseph Joyner 9th. Kyle Bronson 8th. Cody Overton going to be the fastest out of this group. but that's going to put him 4th quick overall. Out of Oakwood, Illinois, the current World of Outlaws point leader. In the 32, Bobby Pierce with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap. He does have the sticker, and Bobby Pierce will get an extra $100 here tonight for having the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap at a 14.946. 14.946. That's going to do it for World of Outlaws Hot Laps. Up next, we get ready for Super Street Hot Laps, and we'll be back for World of Outlaws Real American Beer Late Model Series qualifying. But up next, Super Street Hot Laps, we'll turn it over to the voice of Needmore Speedway, Jeffrey Godby.
Thank you, Ruben. Got 11 Super Streets signed in for tonight. As we roll out group number 1. That 53 machine, that will be Derek Pierce out of Plains, Georgia. And the X, that is Jason Stone out of Nichols. The 8X machine of Jamie Whitaker out of Vidalia. The 43, that is Scott Cruz. The 57 machine rolling under the flag stand and into turn number 1, that is Denver Powell out of Doe Run, Georgia. And then rolling under the flag stand, it would be Brian Grantham in the 8 machine, Brian out of Douglas, Georgia. So again, we've got 11 Super Streets. We'll have, last I checked, we'll have 2 heat races coming up in just a little while. Will Dykes atop of the flag stand here tonight, getting ready to turn the first group of hot laps loose. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out to the Needmore Speedway. Please be sure to go check out our concession stand. Get you something hot to eat, something cold to drink. Golden Bud's Barbecue is down there, A&J Funnel Cakes. And then we have a pizza food trailer over there in turn number 3. So plenty of good options here tonight at Needmore. Please be sure to go check us out. So Will Dykes gets everybody underway here. And that will do it for Super Street Hot Laps. Other cars that were on track, the 11X of Bum Nelson out of Ambrose, Georgia. The 181 machine, that is Donnie Durrance out of Waycross. The 4V of Tim Vaughn. Caleb Payne in that 15 machine. So a good field. Again, a good field of Super Streets here tonight. Almost 40 Crown Vics. They'll be coming up here in just a little while. So we'll have 4 hot lap groups and 4 heat races for the Crown Vics in just a little while. Coming up next will be a World of Outlaws Real American Beer late model qualifying, and then we'll come back with Crown Vic hot laps in just a moment.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. For everyone watching around the world on DIRTVision, we're going to step aside to a real quick set of commercial breaks. When we come back, we get ready for qualifying, the second ever visit for the World of Outlaws here in Needmore for the Needmore Showdown. We'll be right back.
Oswego's hectic. You know, all of a sudden you're ripping the fence and you're sliding across, and all of a sudden it de-rubbers and it slicks back up.
We got caution on the racetrack.
If you win Dirt Week, you're there forever, and there's not much more prestigious thing you can do in dirt modified racing.
It's time for the ultimate thrill ride. The ground-pounding, earth-shaking, window-rattling feast
Alamo, Minnesota. In his 8th year of Super Late Model competition, the Soyberg Calf Ranches, Land of Pressure Washers, Hanco Corporation, Fuel Factory, The Real Cafe, B1, it's Brent Larson.
Only the toughest drivers can handle the World of Outlaws late model series. Only the toughest pressure washers carry the name Landa.
It's a moment of transformation when humans become heroes and training gives way to instinct. In that moment, senses are heightened to new levels. Every sound, every breath, every second that can mean the difference between life and death. Determination is matched only by empathy for those who need you most. In that moment, you need a tool that rises to the challenge. Simple, rugged, reliable. Amcus Rescue Systems, built for the moment.
This copyrighted DIRTVision broadcast may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or distributed in any form without World Racing Group's written consent. Copyright infringement is a federal crime.
Welcome back to everyone watching around the world on DIRTVision, home to the greatest shows on dirt. Getting ready for qualifying here with the World of Outlaws. Track record set by Mark Whitener, 14.205. Bobby Pierce was at a 14.946, nearly 8/10 off the track record, just under 8/10, I should say. In for a good one here tonight. First time the Outlaws have been here since 2011. We are glad to be back. If you don't have plans tomorrow, come join us at the Sanoa Raceway. Just about 3 hours up the road tomorrow for the Billy Clanton Classic. Have a lot of good cars confirmed for that one tomorrow. And then we take 2 weeks off and get ready to head down the Yellow Brick Road to Kansas. Friday, Saturday, October 3rd and 4th. Friday will be at Humboldt Speedway in Humboldt, Kansas. And then Saturday, October 4th, at the 81 Speedway in Park City, Kansas, just north of Wichita. And then down to Boot Hill for $50,000 to win. And then the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We commence qualifying with the World of Outlaws. First driver out there in the 17 Double S. That's going to be Brendan Smith out of Dade City, Florida, in the Rocket Durham, Big Daddy's Cattle, Total Claim Source, Franklin Enterprise, Skipper, Smokehouse, Guardian, Hurricane Protection, Crazy Plumbing, Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing, Crawford Auto Repair, Smith Speed Solutions, Sunoco, Schaefer's Wicks Filters, 17 Double S, Brendan Smith, and of course his younger brother, Brody Smith, and the same sponsor as Rocket Durham, number 17 SR. First lap coming up for the brothers. Bragging rights on the table. We got Brendan clocking in at a 14.999, 14.999. Here comes Brody, second quick, 15.098. Brody Smith, 17 years old. Brendan Smith, 19 years old. Brendan already in his third year behind the wheel of a Super. Brody in his first year. Brendan going to go slower, 15.052. Brody Smith will go faster than his brother, and Brody Smith going to kick it off at a 14.952. 14.952 is the time to beat early here in qualifying as Brody Smith goes to the top of the charts. Brendan Smith, second quick at a 14.999. A pair of Outlaws coming at you up next. The 2023 World 100 Rookie of the Year, coming off a great weekend at Arrowhead with the Outlaws at Richmond, Indiana, and the Infinity by Wells, spec-powered Gibson Racing, Vision Woodworks, KEG Sword Nozzles, DCE Fabrication, Pardos Towing Service, Burt Transmission, FK Robbins, VP Racing Fuels, All-Star Performance, Truman Quarter Horses, number 20 TC, Tricky Tristan Chamberlain. The 2022 World of Outlaws champion at Carpentersville, Illinois, in the Rocket Clements, McBride Mac, Vomac Truck Sales, 5-Star Race Car Bodies, Fox Shocks, Kaiser Manufacturing, VP Racing Fuels, PRC, Dundee Heating and Air Conditioning, Collins Signs, Tools, Auto Sales and Detailing, number 28, Dennis Erb Jr. Time to beat, 14.952, set by Brody Smith. Opening lap for Tristan Chamberlain. Chamberlain going to go third quick, 15.069. Dennis Erb Jr. third quick, 15.002. That bumps Chamberlain down to fourth. A unique racetrack here. Chamberlain will cross the line, and he's going to go faster but remain fourth quick, 15.067. Dennis Erb to the top of the charts, 14.920, 14.920. Quick time here in qualifying for the 2022 World of Outlaws champion, 14.920. Brody Smith second, Brendan Smith third, Tristan Chamberlain fourth quick at a 15.067. Your track record holder up next out of Middleburg, Florida, in car number 5. It's the Magic Man, Mark Whitener, rolling out of the staging area. And the Longhorn Pro Power, Southeast Ship Repair, Whitener's Tractor Service, Ocala Restaurant Supply, DT Welding, Boswell Oil, Jet Concrete Works, Race Car Engineering, number 5, Mark Whitener. Out there with them in car 79. That's going to be Kyle Bryant. Out of Navarre, Florida, the Longhorn Clements, Backridge Tree Service, Bryant Racing Equipment, All-Star Performance, number 79. Asphalt racer for 11 years. The Southern Super Series, 3 top 10s, and the point standings there. Now in his second year behind the wheel of Super Late Model Racing. Mark Whitener, big accomplishment, 2023, the Crate Racing USA champion. And he goes to the top of the charts, 14.638 for Mark Whitener. He knows how to get around this place. Kyle Bryant's going to go sixth quick, 15.385. The current track record holder goes to the top of the charts and will not go faster, but it doesn't matter. Lap 1 will do it, 14.638 for Whitener. That lap 14.763, and Kyle Bryant will go faster but remain sixth quick at a 15.232. New quick time from right down the road in Middleburg, Florida. How about it for the Magic Man, Mark Whitener, 14.638. A pair of Outlaws up next, the MD3 Rookie of the Year contender at Bakersfield, California, and the Longhorn Clements, Heredina American Wagyu Beef, Kelly Custom Pools, Grapevine, MSP Technology Services, ASD Motorsports, Jarrett Rifles, Aussio Gear, BK Grading and Paving, Penske Boswell Oil, Turco Racing Oils, American Racing Wheels, H&A Development, number 74X, Ethan Dotson. Currently second in the World of Outlaws point standings out of Mooresville, North Carolina. The Longhorn Clements, Tide Torque Racing, NOS Energy Drink, Lone Wolf Petroleum, C&W Trucking, Petroff Towing, Holdren Construction, Bill Stein, Tri-Vale Equipment, Tide Torque Performance Parts, number 9, the thrill from Mooresville, Nick Hoffman. Tyler Brashears wrenching the wrenches on the 74X of Ethan Dotson here this weekend. Nick Hoffman coming off a podium at the World 100 at Eldora last weekend. We have 2 good competitors here on the Speedway. Dotson going to cross the line third quick in his opening lap, 14.936 for Dotson. Nick Hoffman to the top of the charts goes Hoffman, 14.586. 14.586 for Nick Hoffman. Ethan Dotson, we're not going to improve that time, a 15-second lap time. First lap better at a 14.936, and Nick Hoffman will not improve that time, 14.785. But Nick Hoffman to the top of the charts here at a 14.586 for the Tide Torque number 9. After 8, your top 5 look like this. Nick Hoffman, Mark Whitener, Dennis Erb Jr., Ethan Dotson, Brody Smith, the top 5. Up next in his sophomore year with the World of Outlaws out of Rochester, Minnesota, and the Longhorn Pro Power, Aldberg Construction, Paulson Rock Products, J&S Repair, JCB Equipment, Rochester Chevrolet, 63 Club, Yagi Trucking, CBR Drilling, Heavy Hitch, number 19, Dustin Sorensen. MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of Winona, Minnesota. In the Longhorn Vic Hill Gorilla Mill, Herco Companies, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Oak Ridge Fabrication, Horman's HVAC, On Demand Shirts, Rush Race Gear by Austin Witt, Stone Machinery, Willie's Carbon Dyno Shop, Swift Springs, number 49, Jake Tim. Both drivers on the clock here at Needmore. Time to beat 14.586. Dustin Sorensen will cross the line. He's going to go third quick for Dustin Sorensen, 14.829. For the Minnesota, Jake Tim, third quick, 14.816. How about a pair of Minnesota drivers coming down to Georgia and going third and fourth? Dustin Sorensen faster, third quick, 14.795. Jake Tim will cross the line, and Jake Tim faster. He'll take third quick from Sorensen. So Jake Tim third at a 14.736, and Dustin Sorensen fourth quick at a 14.795. Great 2 laps by our Minnesota drivers, Jake Tim and Dustin Sorensen. It's still Nick Hoffman atop of the charts at a 14.586. Mark Whitener second, Jake Tim third, Dustin Sorensen fourth, Dennis Erb Jr. fifth, Ethan Dotson sixth in the 74X. Up next out of Fort Valley, Georgia, in the Rocket Chassis, Vic Hill Power, TMT Utilities and Grading, Patriot Development, Legacy Construction, LeClay Construction, Yearwood Grading, Nasworthy Mechanical, CRS Aluminum Fabrication, Juice Man Speed, number 38T, it's Matthew Taylor. Out of Evans, Georgia, the Longhorn Clements, Riggs Motorsports, Longhorn Factory Team, Dude Wipes, Coleman Farms, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Napa Auto Parts, Gronto Southern, RW Powell, Big Dog Stump and Tree, SCM, Harco Construction, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Bill Stein, VP Racing Fuels, number 76, Big Sexy, Brandon Overton. Opening lap here for Matthew Taylor. Taylor going to go 11th quick at a 15.265, 15.265 for Matthew Taylor. Opening lap for Brandon Overton in the 76. Overton 9th quick, 15.012. Has work to do here on lap number 2. Matthew Taylor will not improve, 15.587 on his second lap. First lap better, 15.265, 12th quick. Brandon Overton will go faster. He'll go 8th quick, 14.972 in the 76. So Matthew Taylor 12th, Brandon Overton 8th, Nick Hoffman still with the time to beat at a 14.586. Next 2 cars getting ready to roll into the speedway. Out of Sylvester, Georgia, the Longhorn Clements Roberts B Company, Drywall Systems Incorporated, Lennox River Ranch, Stephen Roberts Racing, Integra Racing Shocks, KVC Graphics, number 111, that is Stephen Roberts. In the number 9, at Watertown, New York, in the Longhorn Clements, Dave Warren Power Sports, Bricks Transport, Corey Rubber Corporation, Exodus Storage, Sherlock Ventures, Flawless Roofing, Trans 58, number 9, T-Mac Tim McCready. Tim McCready. 4 straight top 10s with the Outlaws. 8th at Arrowhead, 3rd on the first night at Arrowhead, 7th at Maquoketa, and 8th at Spoon River. His most recent win, Cedar Lake, and right now Stephen Roberts 11th quick, 15.163. Tim McCready 4th quick, 14.748 for T-Mac. Roberts will cross the line 12th quick, 15.163. Tim McCready top 5 here back in 2011 with the Outlaws, and he's going to go faster. 3rd quick for Tim McCready, 14.726. 14.726 for T-Mac as he goes 3rd quick. Stephen Roberts 12th quick at a 15.163. A pair of Outlaws coming at you up next. The current World of Outlaws point leader out of Oakwood, Illinois. Out of Oakwood, Illinois, the Longhorn Vic Hill Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transportation, Collin Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing and Auto Repair, Toyota, Danville, Steininger Construction, Fast One Speed Shop, number 32, the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce. Out of Chatham, Illinois, the Longhorn Durham, Bob Cullen Racing, Thompson Express, Hoker Trucking, J&J Ventures Gaming, KBC Graphics, Allgaier Performance Parts, Cheap Cars, Ted Brown's Midwest Sheet Metal, VP Racing Fuels Race Ranch, number 3S, the reigning Prairie Dirt Classic champion, Brian Shirley. Bobby Pierce. First ever laps around Needmore Speedway here in the 32. Hoffman's time to beat 14.586. Opening lap for Pierce, 5th quick, 14.778. Opening lap here for Shirley. Brian Shirley will cross the line, 7th quick, 14.861. Pierce 5th, Shirley 7th. Pierce to the top of the charts, 14.534. Can Shirley go to the top? He doesn't, but he does go faster. 6th quick for Shirley, and Bobby Pierce, new quick time at a 14.534. 14.534 in the 32. Brian Shirley, 6th quick. Jake Tim still 5th. Tim McCready 4th. Mark Whitener 3rd. Nick Hoffman 2nd. And new quick time, Bobby Pierce. Another pair of Outlaws coming at you out of Benton, Kentucky. In the Longhorn Clements, Coltman Farms Racing, MPM Marketing, Bilstein, VP Racing Fuel, C Motorsports, Supreme Enterprises, Custom Automotive, Autism Awareness, number 96, that is Tanner English. Your USA Nationals champion out of Marshalltown, Iowa, in the Infinity, Jay Dickens, Cooney Motorsports, Hoker Trucking, Ellen Seamless Gutters, Carl Chevrolet, Fertilizer Equipment Specialist, Custom Fabricating and Repair Incorporated, Jody's Collision Repair, VP Racing Fuels Heartland, Mel Hamilton Ford Racing, Tire Demon by Tim Love, number 19R, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin. Opening lap here for Tanner English in the 96. He'll go 8th quick and at 14.811. 14.811. Ryan Gustin his opening lap here in the 19R. Great run at the World 100 as well. And Ryan Gustin, 15th quick, 15.098. He has a lot of work to do. Tanner English picks it up. He goes 4th quick on his second lap. 14.664. And Ryan Gustin needs a whopping lap here to get out of where he's at, and Gustin going to improve, but 14th quick for Gustin, 15.035 for the Reaper. They've only had one top 10 in Outlaws competition since that big win at the USA Nationals. Ryan Gustin going to have to dig himself out of a hole as he goes 14th quick, and Tanner English with a great qualifying effort, 4th quick at a 14.664. Up next at Salem, Alabama, in the Rocket Clements, CRM Motors, New Point Lighting and Design, 3 Trade Consultants, TMT Utilities, Juice Man Speed, Raptech 44 Companies, number 44D, it's Dalton Cook. Out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota, and the Longhorn Vic Hill Land of Pressure Washers, BA Roofing, Fuel Factory, Hancock Corporation, T-Pack, The Real Cafe, number B1, the B1 Bomber, Brent Larson. Top 6 give you a front row starting spot in our 3 heat races. Bobby Pierce currently shares it with Tanner English, Hoffman shares it with McCready, and Whitener shares it with Jake Tim. Of course, still a handful to go here in qualifying. 20 of 25 have seen the racetrack. Dalton Cook, 17th quick, 15.220. Brent Larson now takes 17th, 15.202. So Dalton Cook gonna get bumped down to 18th. Dalton Cook gonna go slower, 15.300, first lap better at a 15.220 to go 18th quick, and Brent Larson moves up a couple positions to 12th quick at a 14.966. Brent Larson 12th quick at a 14.966, and Dalton Cook 18th quick at a 15.220. Your current MD3 Rookie of the Year point leader up next at Heinemann, Pennsylvania, in the Longhorn Cornet, Team 22 Incorporated, Victory Circle Auto Sales, Gambler Transport, Brickhouse Tavern, Mesilla Valley Transportation, RFI Resources, Jerry Siding and Roofing, Schaefer Construction, Shoes, Diesel Performance, Stone Natural Resources, and Dirt King Apparel and Simulators. Number 22 star, that is Drake Troutman. In the 40B, out of Brandon, Florida, the Longhorn Clements, Michael Lloyd Hauling and Demolition, LTX Home Builders, Borchers Equipment, Race Car Engineering, Atomic Music Group, Multi-Fire Spark Plug Wires, Earnhardt Technologies, Bill Stein, Boswell Oil, Fast Shafts, Bradco Environmentals, Mulinix Recycling, Tillman Roofing, Wayne Hammondo, number 40B, the killer, Kyle Bronson. Drivers enter in turn 4 and they exit in turn 4, so they have to burn a lap, take the green, then clock in their first, get the checkered, and then of course, burn another lap to exit the speedway. So Drake Troutman 17th quick in his opening lap, 15.068. Kyle Bronson 18th quick, 15.093. Final lap time coming up here for Troutman. Both drivers 17th and 18th. They got work to do. Troutman does not improve. 15.158 first lap puts him 17th, and Kyle Bronson not going to improve as well. He will stay 18th, that time slower, 15.174. Kyle Bronson 18th, Drake Troutman in 17th, with only 3 qualifiers to go here in qualifying with the World of Outlaws. Top 6 starting in the front row here tonight. Bobby Pierce currently sharing it with Tanner English, Nick Hoffman, Tim McCready in heat race number 2, and then Mark Whitener and Jake Tim in heat race number 3. But of course, still 3 qualifiers to go, and that can change. Up next out of Milton, Florida, in the capital, J. Dickens, Kubota Genuine Parts, North Shore Boat Storage, Base Racing Fuel, Trading Paints, Hunt the Front TV, number 10, the Flying Floridian, Joseph Joyner. In the number 48, at the Mooresville, North Carolina, and the Longhorn J. Dickens, Tomcat, Circle Track Warehouse, Charlotte Racers Expo, Adams Performance, Victory Fuel, TriStar Racewear, number 48, Hunter Cone. The 18-year-old, 4th-generation driver, going to make his first World of Outlaws start here tonight. Good to see Joseph Joyner in Outlaws competition. It's been nearly 2 years, and he's going to clock in 9th quick. Good lap for Joseph Joyner. 14.869 for the 10. Opening lap for Hunter Cone, 24th quick, 15.394. Joyner will improve, but stay 9th quick. Nonetheless, a great qualifying effort. That'll give him the 3rd starting spot in the final heat of the night at a 14.864, and Hunter Cone will go faster, remain 24th at a 15.317. It's still Bobby Pierce with a time to beat at a 14.534 over Nick Hoffman, Mark Whitener, Tanner English, Tim McCready, and Jake Tim, the top 6. Final qualifier here this evening, a homecoming weekend for the driver out of Evans, Georgia, looking for his first career World of Outlaws victory. And the Longhorn Vic Hill, Steiny Motorsports, Richard David Legacy Motorsports, Shaw Trucking, Budweiser, Morley, Tribble Electric, VP Racing Fuels by Boswell Oil Supply Chain Management, Buffalo Bar and Grill and Convenient Lube. Number 2, that is Cody Overton. Cody Overton wants to win one of these really, really bad. Of course, led the World of Outlaws point standings at the end of Sunshine Nationals after getting his career best finish with the Outlaws in the season opener. 3rd on January 24th at Volusia. Cody Overton, 14 top 10s, 3 top 5s here this season. Right now on a streak of 3 straight top 10s, 10th, 8th, and 4th. The last 3 outings with the Outlaws. Cody Overton, 10th quick, 14.905. 14.905 for Cody Overton. Last time in the state of Georgia was Swainsboro, and he got 23rd and 10th. Cody Overton on his final lap, he will go slower, 15.055. Opening lap puts him 10th quick at a 14.905. That'll give him the 4th starting spot in heat race number 1. That's going to do it for qualifying here this evening. Race fans, with a whopping lap of a 14.534. There's the DIRTVision replay. The smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, going to get the quick time here tonight. And of course, Bobby Pierce in the 32, going to earn quick time at number 6 and tie Nick Hoffman for the most quick times here in 2025. He'll share the front row with Tanner English, Nick Hoffman, Tim McCready, heat race number 2, Mark Whitener, and Jake Tim in heat race number 3. That's going to do it for qualifying. Up next, Crown Vic Hot Laps. We have a full field of Crown Vics. Let's get busy with them. We'll turn it back over to the voice in Needmore Speedway, Jeffrey Godby.
Thank you, Ruben. 37 Crown Vics on hand here tonight. So we're looking at 4 hot lap groups. We're going to do 4 heat races, and they'll come back with a 20-lap main event later on. So we're going to get ready to roll hot lap group number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, as you're making your way to and from the bathroom or the merch area, be sure to stop and check out the Needmore Speedway concession stand. Get you something hot to eat, something cold to drink. I got hamburgers,
Jeffrey,
cheeseburgers, hot dogs, all the good stuff.
I'm a foodie myself. What's the thing you have to eat at Needmore? What are you guys known for?
So, I mean, the stuff and the concession stand's good, but there's Going Butts Barbecue a little bit further down.
I've had them before down at Volusia.
Chicken quesadilla, always
there you go.
Off the chain.
There you go. Get yourself a chicken quesadilla. Have you gone by the World of Outlaws souvenir trailer yet?
I did earlier today.
You did? Good.
Made me a couple purchases while we were just hanging out, and I did my due diligence, I feel like, as a fan. So
There you go. Have you played the World of Outlaws video game, by the way?
The original one, yes.
There you go. Like back in 2012.
No.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Gotcha.
2 years ago.
Hey, World of Outlaws Dirt Racing 24 available now, and of course updates coming as well. So check that out as well. Pretty cool stuff.
My work schedule kind of allows me to not be able to do that a whole bunch, but a couple difficulties up here as we get Crown Vic's ready to roll for hot laps. Again, 37 on hand here tonight. We 4 heat races. While we have a down moment, I want to go over our track sponsors and give everybody a shout out here. That helps out the Needmore Speedway each and every single event. Auto Doctor Towing and Repair, Don Willis, Cobb Funeral Chapel, Hoosier Racing Tire, Going Butts Barbecue, Impulse Industrial Services, IGY6 Construction, The Floor Shop, SA Recycling, R&C Motorsports, Impulse Transport Refrigeration and Trailer Repair. Like we talked about, Going Butts Barbecue, got Jet Concrete Works, Coca-Cola, Hales Heating and Air, Tennyson Nissan. A lot of people that help out all year long here at the Needmore Speedway. Still a couple of difficulties. Getting ready to roll the Crown Vic hot lap groups. So again, the Crown Vic class, they've become really popular over the last few years here around North Florida and South Georgia. And 37 strong here tonight. We usually average about 25 to 30 on a regular Saturday night. So a very popular class, one of the best racing classes we have here at the Needmore Speedway.
And of course tonight, Jeffrey, they will have a 20-lap feature. So Crown Vic hot laps getting ready to roll out momentarily. Local officials sorting out some things real quick, and once they get that going, we will get ready for their hot laps. And then we'll get ready for opening ceremonies here tonight. World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Model heat races. We'll have 1 Super Street heat race here tonight, and then our top 6 redraw tonight. And then we'll get ready for 3 Crown Vic heat races. Actually, might be 4 now. And then we'll get ready for a 40-lap feature, and then the 20-lap Crown Vic feature and the 20-lap Super Street feature. Nope. Sorry, we can keep it here.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for being here at the Needmore Speedway. The rest of our schedule, September 27th, we'll be right back here with Childhood Cancer Night. October 25th, we come back with Topless Night featuring the Southern Clash Late Models presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Halloween night is a really special one. All divisions can run topless optional, so a little something different. It's really cool. Everybody really participates every year. Chance does as much as he can for the fan like he does the racer, and we definitely like to put on a good show for race fans when they come out here. And then November 20th through the 22nd, the 14th annual Early Bird 50, the Crate Racing USA 604 late models. It's our final event of the year here. Always a big one. So again, if you see Chance walking around, be sure to thank him for bringing back the World of Outlaws. Again, first time since 2011. And to be honest, back in 2011, I didn't even know that Needmore Speedway existed. So it's really cool to see the World of Outlaws here.
Well, Jeffrey, in your defense, it did open in 2010, so it was fairly new back then. And I got to say, Chance has done a great job here at this facility. You roll in. The tier parking sold out tonight. If we get a camera on that, you can see the tier parking. I believe it starts right there in turn number 3. It goes all the way around. and that's fantastic stuff. It kind of reminded me, I don't know if you've ever been, but we go to Bedford Speedway in Bedford, Pennsylvania, and they have these like little homemade shacks. Do you know the story on that? Do they build them themselves, or what's happening there?
A lot of the platforms you see around the Speedway are pretty permanent. I've been coming here for about 6 or 7 years as a spectator, and every time they've been here as long as I remember. So I don't really know the story about Bedford, but I know what you see there on your DIRTVision screen is pretty permanent here every single year.
That's pretty neat. Again, I've only seen that at Bedford, and yeah, there's a platform right there full of fans, and it's really neat. And of course, tiered parking all around the racetrack. We still have a line of fans waiting to get in as well. So race fans, thank you so much for choosing us as your entertainment destination on a Friday night. We know in Georgia, football is a big thing, and you know, Friday Night Light's a big thing down here, but we thank you so much for choosing us here at the racetrack on a Friday night with the World of Outlaws. And if you're looking for more World of Outlaws action this weekend, we got you at Sonoa. Nonetheless, Crown Vic's onto the Speedway. Jeffrey, back to you.
Rolling out. Hot Lap Group number 1. The 17 machine of Andrew Roberts out of Osceola, Georgia. A lot of these guys are here just about weekly whenever the gates are open. The 33 machine is Jordan Thigpen out of Lyons, Georgia. The R1 of Reese Johnson out of Moultrie. The R6, that's Reagan Johnson out of Moultrie as well. We'll get everybody a lap or two to feel out this racing surface. We'll turn them loose. Also on the Speedway, the 25 machine of Jaden Chambers out of Moultrie. The 225, that is Jackson Chambers out of Moultrie. The 619 machine, that is Brian Reno out of Lake Park, Georgia. And the 914, that is Jacob Cobb out of Moultrie. So that'll make up group number 1. Again, 37 strong here tonight, going for 1,000 to win, which is a huge deal for these guys. They normally run for 300, maybe 500, depending on the night. But 1,000 to win, courtesy of a couple sponsors. And like I said a moment ago, these guys put on one of the best shows you'll see here around the Needmore Speedway. So we're really looking forward to turning them loose later on tonight here on DIRTVision. One machine stopped at the top of turn number 4. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for coming out and spending your hard-earned money on a Friday night here in Norman Park, Georgia at the Needmore Speedway. You know, there's a lot of options out there these days. So again, on behalf of Chance Smith, all the staff members here, we really do appreciate you being here. Race control still working out a couple of technical difficulties. So we'll be able to turn these guys loose here momentarily. For a show of hands, how many fans are here for the first time at Needmore? A good bunch of you. We appreciate you for being here. Welcome. We hope you enjoy it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Race Control has our technical difficulties corrected. So once again, we have the 17 of Andrew Roberts, the 33 of Jordan Thigpen, Reese Johnson, Reagan Johnson, Jaden Chambers, Tyler Boyette in that one machine, the 225 of Jackson Chambers, Jacob Cobb, and Brian Reno. That'll make up group number 1 for Hot Laps. These guys will be coming back in just a little while. The way Hot Laps work here at the Needmore Speedway, we do not do a pill draw. Hot Laps double as Hot Lap qualifying, and your time from your Hot Lap session will set your lineup for your heat races coming up in just a little while. Jordan Thigpen in that 33 machine. That is a brand new race car as of last weekend. They broke it out up at the Cochran Motor Speedway last weekend. It was fast right out of the gate. A lot of these guys getting ready for a big race. Oh, we got one hard on the wall in turn number 4. Had one jump over the lip and get into the wall coming out of turn number 4 at the track entrance and exit. Safety crews over there intending to that car. That is the R1 of Reese Johnson. So one thing I can attest to, Ruben, about these Crown Vics is I daily drive one. They're tough as nails. So,
and the thing that I like about these, the passion, right? These guys have passion, and they put every bit of ounce of energy into this. And these guys are competitive. They're definitely competitive, and we'll see some good racing here with the Crown Vics here tonight.
I think these guys are really excited to be racing on DIRTVision here tonight. We'll get group number 1 back rolling. Should be just another lap or two before we get ready to roll group number 2. Jordan Thigpen still at the top of the board. Andrew Roberts second, Reagan Johnson in third again. Hot Lap session will determine the lineup for their heat races later on this evening. And you said it a minute ago, the fans still rolling into the Needmore Speedway. This place is filling up pretty nicely, especially on a Friday night. Like we said, football in Georgia, it's about like Texas almost. Once football season starts, nothing else matters almost. So that'll do it for group number 1. Jordan Thigpen able to stay at the top of the board with a 24.58. Reagan Johnson second, Andrew Roberts third, Reese Johnson fourth, and Jaden Chambers rounds out your top 5. We're going to clear this group off the speedway. Get ready to roll group number 2. While they do all that, I'm going to go back to our Super Street class. We were having some technical difficulties there. And never mind, Race Pass lied to me a little bit. All right. So getting group number 1 cleared off the speedway, we'll roll group number 2. As we get group number 2 onto the speedway, we'll come back after Crown Vic Hot Laps with opening ceremonies, and we'll roll right into World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Model Heat Races. And then we'll come right back with the Super Street Heat Races. The 247 machine, that is Jamie Hansen rolling through turn number 1 and 2. Behind him in the 916, that is Amberino. Rolling down the back straightaway behind the 916 machine, that is Ronnie Johnson in that 85, a competitor over at the 441 Speedway, Swainsboro, and regularly here at the Needmore Speedway. Kendall Ludeker in the 20 junior, rolling down out of turn number 4 in the X machine, that is Tyler Landis. Mason Cassidy in the 17M, Wiley Horsley in the 29, David Bruner in 54, and Clint Staggy in 5. That'll make up group number 2 as we get ready to go. So far, fastest in this one, 29.12, the 17M of Mason Cassidy. Cassidy a little bit faster with a 28.60. So we have one around and stopped on the back straightaway. That is the X machine of Tyler Landis. Well, that'll do it for group number 2. So overall, Jordan Thigpen still at the top of the board. Mason Cassidy second. Reagan Johnson, Andrew Roberts, Reese Johnson. And they round out your top 5. We'll get group number 2 cleared off of the speedway. Get ready to roll group number 3. So here we go with group number 3. 24 machine, that is Jeffrey Lynn. A new machine for that guy, normally in the pink and purple number 50. Ty Ottinger in the 770. Cody Gray in the 17X. Andrew Stone out of Savannah, Georgia in the 2S. Stephen Bruner in the 316. Kyle Rollins in the 517. Kylan Rollins in the 17K. And David Townsend and Dustin Taylor in 18D. That'll round out your drivers on track for group number 3 as we get ready to turn them loose. Race control talking to him via the one-way communication system as we get group number 3 wound up. Again, while we're running through hot laps, be sure to go check out the concession stand. Get you something hot to eat, something cold to drink. Go check out all the vendors in vendor row. So Andrew Stone to the top of the board. The 20-414. Stephen Bruner 15th. Kyle Rollins 17th. A regular up at the 441 Speedway. David Townsend 7th. Dustin Taylor 23rd. As Will Dykes has a white flag in hand. We're going to wrap up group number 3 here momentarily. That will do it. Andrew Stone out of this group went to the top of the board, and Kyle Rollins also in this group in that 517 machine went to 3rd. David Townsend 9th. We'll get these guys cleared off the speedway. Got one more group of hot laps before we roll into opening ceremonies, followed by World of Outlaws Real American Beer late model heat races. Group number 4 taken to the speedway. That 32 machine rolling into turn number 1. That is Dustin Baxter. And behind him in the 5P, that is Austin Peebles. Daniel Starner in the 44. Brennan Robinson in the 313. Timmy Rhodes Jr. in the R2. And that'll do it for the 4th and final hot lap session for the Crown Vics. Checker flag is out for this group. Sorry, white flag is out for this group from flagman Will Dykes. Timmy Roach Jr. currently 20th at overall. The 44 machine goes 14th. That is Daniel Starner. Dustin Baxter goes 21st. Austin Peebles 24th. And that'll round out Crown Vic Hot Laps. And Ruben, as you come back in here, we see up and over the pit area, that long line of race fans still trying to get in the Needmore Speedway. I think we're in for a huge crowd and a great night of racing here in Norman Park, Georgia.
Yeah, we have a special announcement about that at opening ceremonies, as we still have double lane traffic all the way to the main road, and we know that's a long road down there of fans waiting to get in. We can see the headlights from up here, but race fans, we thank you so much for coming out. For everyone watching around the world on DIRTVision, we're going to send you to a set of commercial breaks. We're moments away from opening ceremonies here at the Needmore Showdown with the World of Outlaws. We'll be right back.
Your hometown racing heroes from across the country take center stage this fall at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's the 10th running of the World Short Track Championship. 10 divisions of dirt track racing superstars for 3 huge nights, October 30th through November 1st. Don't miss when fenders fly and tempers rise at the World Short Track Championship. Info and more at dirtcard.com. Be there.
It's ARP Fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family-owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com. No matter what you race.
What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
The World of Outlaws are thundering into the Sunflower State.
They're side by side for the lead down the front straightaway. Gets a big head of steam down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go. It's going to be a dynamite finish. Strong job on the final lap of this one. Oh, man, that was dynamite.
The dirt is what we live for. Come see the World of Outlaws late models near you.
At Kaiser Manufacturing, our commitment to engineering and developing new products is reflected in the wide range of fabricated items we produce for the manufacturing and retail industries. From simple to complex fabrication, we can do that. We have a full team of engineers ready to take your concept from prototype to full production. Call us for a quote today to see your next idea brought to life. Kaiser Manufacturing, proud to be Michigan made. Welcome back to everyone watching around the world on DIRTVision. Here to Needmore Speedway, Friday night action here with the Outlaws. After a couple weekends off, of course, we get ready to head down to Kansas in just a couple weeks. Hope to see you there if you're going to be in the area. If not, watch every lap live on DIRTVision. Humboldt Speedway Friday, October 3rd, then 81 Speedway Saturday, October 4th, and then $50,000 to win at the Boot Hill Speedway, all part of the Coltman Farms Racing Cup, which is, of course, led right now by Nick Hoffman. That's October 10th and 11th, Friday, Saturday, Greenwood, Louisiana, and then the World of Outlaws World Finals, of course, with our two sister series, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series and the Super Dirt Car Series, coming up Wednesday through Saturday, November 5th through the 8th. Go to worldofoutlaws.com, click on the Schedule tab to learn more. Only 9 races to go, including tonight for the World of Outlaws, and we have some great points battles. Pierce currently leads the point standings by 108 points over Nick Hoffman. That is mathematically a 54 position difference between Pierce and Hoffman. Gustin third, but the battle right now, Tim McCready's fourth. The battle's for fifth. Drake Troutman, 384 points back of Pierce, and Dennis Erb only 2 points behind him. And there's a big difference in the money. It's $80,000 to finish sixth in the points standings, $100,000 to finish fifth. The top 5 point standing finishers get an automatic 6-figure payday at the end of the year, and a great battle for fifth. Only 2 points separate Troutman and Dennis. That will be one battle to watch here tonight between the 22-star Drake Troutman and the 28 Dennis Erb Jr. Brian Shirley currently 7th, Cody Overton 8th, Tanner English 9th, and Ethan Dotson 10th. A total of 14 points separate Tanner English and Ethan Dotson from 9th and 10th. 45,000 to 9th, 42,000 to 10th. That's a $3,000 difference there in the point standings. Good points battle to keep your eye on there. Dustin Sorensen 11th, Tristan Chamberlain 12th, Jake Tim 13th, Brent Larson 14th here in the 2025 standings. Those are the battles to look at here in the remaining 9 races of the 2025 season. Of course, we mentioned going to Sanoa tomorrow, and Sanoa Raceway, after a couple years of raining out, 2023 and 2024. Last time we were there, 2021, Ashton Winger picked up the win. Chris Madden winner in 2018 and Brandon Shepard winner in 2017. Ashton Winger does plan on racing with us tomorrow. Shepard and Madden do not, so we could see a new winner at Sanoa, or we could see a repeat winner with Ashton Winger, of course, former Hell Tour champion there. Needmore Speedway, as we mentioned, first ever visit back in 2011, won by Clint Smith, and you look at the names in that one, and that's some really, really cool stuff. So glad to be back here at Needmore. Tonight, 40 laps the distance for the Outlaws. $12,000 to win, $1,000 just to start here tonight. We'll have 3 heat races after opening ceremonies. The top 2 will go directly to the top 6 redraw. It's an open top 6 redraw tonight. So to start on the Bill Stein pole, you don't have to win a heat race. You can just finish second and still have a shot at the Bill Stein pole here tonight. As I mentioned, everyone will advance here tonight out of the 3 heat races, and we'll have a 40-lap feature. So, moments away from opening ceremonies, don't forget to visit Joe and Darren at the World of Outlaws souvenir trailer. Grab your official merchandise of the World of Outlaws down there from Joe and Darren. They have event merchandise as well. And, of course, take the action to your living room with World of Outlaws Dirt Racing 24 on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam.